Welcome to the Concordance Healing, Equity, Hope virtual gala. Thank you for being here this evening. I am your proud host, Matt Lorch. We have an incredible program planned for you this evening, and I am so incredibly honored to be a part of it. I want to start by thanking our presenting sponsors. Without them tonight, it wouldn't be possible. Edward Jones, Worldwide Technology, NASCAR, Express Scripts, Amarin, Koala, and Susie and Bo Brower. In years past, we have all been together in the same room on gala night. Tonight is different, though. In fact, this past 20 months have been different. While we can't celebrate in person, going virtual has allowed us to welcome guests from across this country to join us in celebrating Concordance and the important work they are doing. So whether you are logged in right now from St. Louis, the Bay Area, New York, Atlanta, or somewhere in between, welcome to you. We are honored that you have joined us tonight. Before I introduce our first speaker, I want to point out one important thing about tonight's event platform. If you look on your screen, either at the top of the page or just below this video, you're going to see two buttons. You can click the donate button and make a gift by credit card, or you can click the pledge button, and a member of the Concordance team will contact you to discuss donation payment methods. I encourage you to take a moment now. Press that button. Help us make a difference in the lives of thousands of families across this country. It is now my pleasure to introduce Danny Ludeman. Danny is the founder and CEO of Concordance. It's his vision that has and continues to change the lives of so many people. Concordance not only helps change the lives of its participants, but they also create a ripple effect in participants' families and in our communities. Danny is so committed to this cause, he is joining us on his birthday. Talk about passion for the cause. So on behalf of all of us, Danny, happy birthday to you, and I'm gonna let you take it from here.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you being with us tonight as our host, and I want to thank everyone watching from home. Tonight's event is called the Healing, Equity, and Hope Gala. Some of you might recognize that as our new Concordance tagline as well. At the heart of everything Concordance does is a focus on healing our participants from prior trauma. So much of the trauma that our participants face is a direct result of the systematic racism they face every single day. There are dual pandemics raging in our country right now. One is COVID, and the other one is racial inequity. While doctors and scientists work to end the COVID pandemic, Concordance is focused on helping our country move forward towards racial equity. Mass incarceration is a racial equity issue. More than 100 million people in our country are impacted by mass incarceration, and the Black and Hispanic communities are disproportionately affected. Black men are 6 times more likely to be arrested than white men, and Hispanic men are 3 times more likely to be arrested. Members of our community and their families have faced racial inequity for generations. And the question has become, what are we going to do to help our country heal? Concordance has always been and will always be a champion of racial equity. This work is not easy, but it's crucial to creating a country where everyone feels like they belong. Creating a world of equity for justice-involved individuals is even harder. Justice-involved individuals face a lot of challenges when they return home. And Concordance partners with our participants every step of the way, from substance use and mental health treatment to full-time employment and affordable, safe housing. Our team is removing barriers and paving the way for our participants to live joyful and abundant lives. As we partner together, there's a ripple effect created. Families are reunited, jobs are secured, stable housing is obtained, and communities are healed. The work our team at Concordance is doing day in and day out is reducing reincarceration. Over the past 5 years, we've enrolled almost 1,000 participants, and we've lowered the rate of reincarceration among them by 45%. Now, that is a number to celebrate. To create real, lasting change in our community, to achieve racial equity, we need to help communities across our country and the people in them move forward together. And that's why we're so excited to be moving forward with our national expansion plans, with the support of so many individuals and corporations in the St. Louis region, and our very important partnership with the Missouri Department of Corrections. We have proven our model works in St. Louis, and now is the time to turn our attention to scaling, growing the program in St. Louis to help more participants each year, and opening additional Concordance centers in other cities. It is an exciting time to be at Concordance, and I could not feel more blessed to have the community of support that we do both locally here in St. Louis and nationally. To those of you watching who've been with us from the beginning, I want to say thank you. Thank you for helping us build the foundation of Concordance. To those of you who joined as a part of the National First Chance campaign this past year, I'm truly honored to have you with us on this journey. And to those of you tuning in and learning about us for the first time tonight, welcome. We're excited to have you join us. I'd like to share a video now that showcases our vision for ending the cycle of reincarceration and explains our holistic, integrated, evidence-informed reentry model in more detail. I'm incredibly proud of the work our team is doing and the difference we're making in so many lives. The impact that Concordance is having on improving racial equity is extraordinary, really.
We have 30 million individuals who are in state penitentiaries today, and what most people don't realize is that 95% are going to return to our communities.
It's a problem that impacts Black and brown communities. Black men are 6 times more likely than their white counterparts to be incarcerated. Hispanic men, 3 times as likely.
On average, individuals go back to prison 5 to 7 times. So it's the cyclical cycle of reincarceration that we should be most concerned with. Coming out of prison are dealing with a whole array of issues: mental health, substance use, lack of employment, lack of education. And Concordance is here to help each and every participant have a better opportunity to come back to the community that they are already living in and be more successful this time.
What sets Concordance apart, though, is that we take a healing-first approach, addressing all of the issues they face in terms of the chronic trauma and what it leads to in terms of substance use, mental health, poor academic performance, and the issues that show up in the workplace. And so we understand that taking this healing-first approach is the way to success for more people and to impact this problem holistically.
Concordance's model is a holistic, integrated, evidence-informed model. We have 12 services all under one roof in 3 different areas: behavioral health and wellness, education and job readiness, as well as community and life skills. Moreover, we know that children who have 1 or more parents who are incarcerated are 6 to 9 times more likely to go to prison themselves, just because of the surroundings and the family that they grew up in. So if we can break that cycle of reincarceration now, we will have a big generational impact for the future.
So many organizations tend to focus on the symptom. We're all about looking at the source issue, how we can devote our time, resources, and energy on getting to the core root of the problem: early childhood trauma. We spent 2.5 years researching this problem before we even started serving participants. That's why we have this healing first approach to truly helping this population not just stay out of prison, but to truly live joyful, abundant, and purposeful lives, which is what we all want to live.
To date, of all the participants that we have enrolled in Concordance, we've reduced recidivism by 45%.
This work to drastically reduce reincarceration rates is very difficult, and you can't do it alone. I mean, you need a lot of support, and our donors and investors have opened their wallets. Our hiring partners have opened their doors and provided jobs. Our board members have given us the gift of their expertise, their time and talent. And so it's beautiful to see the community come together to rally around Concordance. So we want to make sure our participants are living their best lives. And that includes doing some of the things that maybe we all take for granted. Living in a safe neighborhood, driving a nice car, being able to take a family vacation, eating a healthy meal. We don't just want them to survive, we want them to thrive.
Yes, let's help them thrive. That video really shows the positive impact of this organization. The work being done at Concordance is truly inspiring, providing mental health and substance use treatment, closing the gaps in employment skill sets, and providing personalized career pathways. It is no wonder the business community and individual donors have embraced the Concordance reentry model. And the model works, giving participants their real first chance at success. And speaking of first chances, tonight Concordance is presenting their inaugural First Chance Award in honor of an organization and individual who are champions of racial equity in their community and workplace. Tonight's award recipients, BJC Healthcare and John W. Thompson, are committed to making their communities better, more equitable places for all, and provide a first real chance for those who are not given one at birth. I am honored to introduce David Stewart, Worldwide Technology founder and chairman. David has been a board member and investor in Concordance since the very beginning. Most recently, he has stepped up to help create and share the Concordance First Chance campaign, a national initiative raising the funds needed to take the Concordance reentry model nationwide. Please join me in welcoming David Stewart.
Thank you, Matt, for that wonderful introduction, and good evening, everyone. I am so honored and privileged to have this opportunity at Concordance. Concordance is very near and dear to my heart, and I really solve a significant issue and challenge we have in our community. I am so blessed to present the Concordance First Chance Award this evening. What an honor it is for me to be able to do this. This award makes its debut tonight and honors both an organization and an individual. Both are making their communities a much better place, not only in this community, but across this nation, around the world. More equitable place for all of us. They embody the Concordance mission to provide a real chance for people who need one. Now, I'm so honored to present the First Chance Award to my dear friend, Rich Lightwick, President and CEO, accepting on behalf of the 30,000 employees at BJC Healthcare.
Thank you, Dave, for your kind words. BJC Healthcare is very proud of the work we do in our community and the partnership we have with Concordance. I accept this First Chance Award on behalf of our 30,000 healthcare heroes and caregivers across BJC Healthcare who show up each and every day to ensure the health and well-being of our community.
Congratulations to Rich and the team at BJC Healthcare. And now we'd like to play a video that highlights BJC's impact in the St. Louis region.
Racial equity is very important for BJC, considering who we are. We're one of the largest employers in the state of Missouri, one of the top healthcare organizations across the country.
And when I think of equity, I think of ensuring that a rising tide raises the boats of everybody, and that we leave nobody behind, and that we take down barriers that we have unintentionally created as a community, so that in the future, everyone, regardless of their walk in life, have access to healthcare, have access to housing, food, job.
Racial equity looks like everyone having the equal opportunity to live the healthiest life that they can.
The first thing you can do is listen. So we know that not every team member's experience is the same as someone else's. We're very intentional about how do we create an environment where the expectation is set for everybody and that we honor people's differences. The data shows that the more diverse and the more inclusive that your workforce is, the better your outcomes are.
And we sit in a bi-state region that is rich with diversity. So we have the opportunity to be a not only local but national leader addressing racial equity for our service area. And so when we talk about diversity, we're committing to setting goals around ensuring our workforce is representative of the patients and communities in which we serve.
We have an opportunity right now. I see it as my role to stand with my arms outstretched, making sure that we take every opportunity to provide hope. That's what gets me out of the bed in the morning.
The partnership that we have with Concordance is unlike anything I've seen in my HR career. Concordance participants want a chance to earn a good living, to have a career that's meaningful, and to improve their life for their families and themselves. The Concordance participants, I think it's all the wraparound services, all the coaching and life therapy and life skills sort of classes that they have access to even once they've started to work, that makes those employees some of the best that we could have. They bring an extreme commitment to wanting to work hard to do better for their families, for themselves, to have that first chance at a different future.
BJC Healthcare feels so fortunate to be a partner with Concordance. We're so fortunate that that vision was created here in St. Louis.
You know, the work that BJC Healthcare is doing is truly inspiring. Thank you, Rich, Jackie, Jason, Stephen, and the entire BJC team for all that you do for the St. Louis region and well beyond that. We're blessed to have you in our community. It is now a privilege and honor to present the individual First Chance Award to my dear friend, John Thompson. And I'm really excited to talk a little bit about him and his career. He's had a 40-year career at top positions, somatics, and also IBM board positions at Microsoft, and as well as its chairman and Lumina. Today he is with Lightspeed Ventures Partners. John has paved the way for so many people seeking careers in technology, notable for persons of color and other underprivileged communities in tech. John is truly a leader. It brings diversity and equity to the workplace and promotes open and candid conversations between teams and leadership. But even more important is what we honored here tonight. John's incredible support for Concordance and all that we do. He has doubled down on that. And please join me now and learn more about John's amazing life and legacy.
Well, it truly is an honor for me to accept this award. What a wonderful opportunity for me to be a part of Concordance. I am so blessed that you guys would recognize me for my small contributions to what you're trying to do for so many people around the country. So I am delighted to be recognized, but more importantly, I'm delighted to be a part of the Concordance team. Well, I grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida. My mother was a school teacher, my father was a postal worker, and they both taught me some valuable lessons along the way. One from my mother was, you never stop learning. Life is about lifelong learning. And my father was a very entrepreneurial guy that I never really had in that context when I was a young kid. My family now is all about our grandkids and our nieces and nephews and what have you, and we have a wonderful, wonderful family. Well, this has been quite the career journey for me. I never would have imagined being in the tech industry as long as I have been, and in June of this year, I crossed my 50th anniversary in tech. I had this view that, okay, I'll join IBM, they need salespeople, I'll do that for a year or two, and then I'll go back to law school. Because back in those days, the most successful people in the African American communities were teachers, preachers, doctors, and lawyers. And I knew I couldn't be either of the first three, so I was going to be a lawyer. And ultimately, I concluded, this is not a smart move. Maybe I ought to just double down on IBM and see how that works out. And sure enough, within a few months, I get a call. It's to join Symantec as the CEO. And I have always had a philosophy, which is 10 years and move on. Do not consume time and block opportunities for other people. So 10 years in, I transitioned out of the CEO role. I remained as chair for 2 more years, and then I moved on. And lo and behold, along came the request right at the time that we announced that I was stepping down, would you consider joining the board of Microsoft? So I joined the Microsoft board in, I guess, March of 2012. Didn't expect to become lead independent director 6 months later, much less to ever become chair. So I feel really, really good about my career journey. I jokingly tell people I'm now on chapter 4. Chapter 1 was 27 years, 9 months, and 13 days at IBM. Chapter 2 was 10 years at Symantec. Chapter 3 was running a startup. And now chapter 4 is at Lightspeed Ventures, where I'm a venture partner. I've been there for a little over 3 years. Life is not about retirement. Life is about lifelong learning. That's what my mother taught me from the very beginning. And so I expect to work until I can't do anything ever again.
I've known John probably 6 or 7 years now, I guess. We got to know each other by serving together on the board of Wetlands America Trust. In the Boreal Forest, we've been working with the indigenous people there on land use planning and treaties to permanently protect, now closing in on 1 billion acres. John sees the world as John sees the world, but then he goes about making it a better place for himself and everybody in it.
Racial equity is about you and I being able to communicate, whether we agree or disagree, but not starting off with a ethnically or racially biased point of view, starting out with an open mind and, quite frankly, the spirit of what can I learn from you and what can you learn from me. If I were to look at where I invest today, I tend to be much more inclined or interested in investing in companies that candidly are led by women or led by people of color. And so my job at this point is how do I make sure that we have a bigger, broader, deeper pipeline of people of color to take on important roles in the tech sector. And if we do that, candidly, not only will the community do well, but the industry will do better. And so I think Concordance have done an amazing job of creating an organization that can solve a problem that has been in this country forever. And quite frankly, I don't know of any other organization that's even thought about it, much less tried to do something about it. As an African American leader, my gosh, you want to solve the problems that are affecting the minority community. And this is a huge problem affecting the minority community, so why wouldn't I get involved?
Thank you again to BJC Healthcare and John Thompson for the work you're doing to advance racial equity within our communities. It is truly humbling, and I hope it inspires all of you to take action to make a difference. And speaking of inspiring, Danny, I know there are a lot of incredible participants who, through their hard work and dedication to themselves and their families, inspire you and your team every day.
You're exactly right, Matt. We provide the support and resources for our participants every day, but make no mistake about it, they're the ones doing the truly hard work. I'd love to share a video with everyone that features some of our current participants as an example of our participants' journey to healing. My hope is this video encourages you to join us. Together, we can end the cycle of reincarceration and help move our country towards racial equity, one person and one family at a time. Can we go ahead and play that video, Matt?
I grew up here in St. Louis, Missouri. I was raised by a single mom. You know, me and my 3 other siblings, me being the youngest.
My childhood, it was pretty good. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. It was me, my sister, my mom and my dad. My dad passed away when I was 7. So it was just me, my mom and my sister.
I'm the youngest of 4 kids, 2 older brothers, 1 older sister. And, you know, I never really got the experience of seeing my mom and dad together, which is something I've always wanted, but, you know, I never got to have that, so that was always a bit of a struggle for me.
What led me to my incarceration was I was 16. I had actually impregnated this young female whom I'm actually with today. She was giving birth that very same night, and I needed money, and I didn't have any education or any job skills, so I set out to commit a robbery, and the robbery went bad, and I ended up taking someone's life. And I've been dealing with that for a great number of years.
My first time down, I had a full-time job, but I was in a relationship that really wasn't the best. The guy that I was with didn't work at the time, so it was really hard. It was a really big struggle to like support us all. So I just made a bad decision and committed a robbery and ended up in prison the first time. And then the same thing happened again. I was on unpaid maternity leave and couldn't make ends meet and did the same exact thing.
Heroin was my drug of choice. And I was using and I was stealing money from people and stealing from my job, and it was very bad. I heard about Concordance through my dad. He told me about it real early on in my incarceration, and I said, yeah, that sounds great. I didn't know a lot about it. I just knew that they helped people transition from prison to real life society.
You get support, you get like an attorney, and they place you in a job, like good paying jobs, where you actually get to learn things. So I just couldn't pass that up. A lot of people, they look at me on paper, they see a violent offender. So based on paper, people wouldn't even let me in the door. It's excruciatingly hard to find housing. It's been a few times where I know it would have been harder for me to get employment. It opens up doors that wouldn't be open to me. I work at Triad. That is like my favorite place ever. Concordance means freedom and stability.
When I received a therapist, a poor kid, from the ghetto, got somebody that will sit and listen to your problems and help you gain some solutions to those, that was invaluable. I haven't, lived in this world, as an adult. I found a lot of people who were invested in helping people just like me. It just gives me a sense of stability and joy, because my daughter, my grandbabies, and man, just to be able to go to my grandson's football games, and support him, that's been awesome. It has.
A big thing about why Concordance is working for me is that they show me that they really care about who I am and what I want to become and my goals. And you get individual sessions with your therapist, your case manager, and if you ever need to talk to somebody, they're always there. You never feel like you're bothering anybody.
It is an amazing feeling to just hug your child after being away from your child for so long. My son is the best. He's the greatest. I have the best son in the whole wide world. I don't know what I would do without him. And since I've been out, it's a lot better. Like, he's trying more at school. He's more social. He was really closed off when I was incarcerated. But now that I'm out, he's just like a social butterfly. He's just running around like my mom's home.
I'm most proud of the fact that I've been sticking through it. That everybody has to work. Everybody has to accept failures at times, but you can pick yourself up. I promise you, I ain't gonna let you down, and more importantly, I ain't gonna let myself down.
I have to say, every time I hear those stories, I'm inspired. I know you are as well. So big thank you to Liddell, Dina, and Josh for sharing your journey with all of us tonight. Your stories are a perfect reminder of why we are here this evening, to raise the funds needed to provide vital services to members of our community who are returning from prison. And that's a perfect segue to our Fund a Need. Now, if we were together in the room tonight, this would be the time that I tell you, get your paddles ready to raise them high, and we would go through all the different giving levels. Instead, we're going to keep it real simple. Remember those donate and pledge buttons I told you about earlier? If you have not made your gift yet, now is really the time to press one of those buttons. They're at the top of your page and just below my video. Do you see them there? Our giving levels are $10,000, $5,000, $2,500, and $1,000. And please know a gift of any amount, larger or smaller, will change the lives of Concordance participants. As a reminder, the donate button is for making a gift via credit card right now, in this moment. If you prefer to talk with a Concordance team member about other payment options, please click the pledge button and enter your information. A member of our team will call you tomorrow to talk you through the details of your gift. Regardless of which button you press, please know that you are changing the lives of our Concordance participants. And because of your support, Concordance can provide them holistic, integrated services. We're talking about mental health and behavioral health treatment, substance use disorder treatment, job readiness training, employment services, pro bono legal services, housing services. I have to say, the list, it goes on, and none of that would be possible without gifts from generous supporters like you. I wanted to share some stories of Concordance participants who benefit from your generosity. Carl came to Concordance after being incarcerated for over 2 decades. While listening to his story, there was one thing that really stuck out to me the most, and that was his drive to be a productive member of our society. He wanted so badly to go to work every day, just like you and me, and contribute purposefully to his community. Concordance helped him to achieve that dream, helped him grow into the person he is today, a true testament to the important work being done by these participants. Make a donation tonight in honor of Carl and his success. Checking in now on our Fund a Need donors, a big thank you to Bob Newmark, Emily Proctor, Penny Pennington, and Bob Virgil for making your gifts tonight. I also see Carrie Nelson and Ron Redwing. Thank you. Your support means a lot to our participants and graduates like Carl. Let me share another story with you. Yvonne started self-medicating with alcohol and drugs to survive a mentally and physically abusive marriage. She was able to escape that marriage, but not her addiction. And she resorted to crime to fund her addiction and eventually ended up in prison. Yvonne worked hard and completed the entire Concordance program. She now has a strong relationship with her family. She's sober, she's healthy, and she is working once again. This is another example of an incredible participant leveraging Concordance services, doing the work, and changing the trajectory of their life. Make a donation tonight to help women like Yvonne heal from addiction and lead joyful and abundant lives. Checking in on those donations once again. Wow, I just see we have a $25,000 donation from Ken McDonald. Thank you so much for your support. I'm seeing more donations from Susan Talvey, Paula and Roger Riney, Steve Finnerty, thank you. Kitty Radcliffe, thank you as well. Thank you all for your support tonight. Let's keep it going. Tonight, we have the opportunity and privilege to collectively participate in creating a ripple effect of good within our communities and across our nation. The money raised here tonight will help thousands of participants, not just in St. Louis, but nationwide as Concordance expands. Not only can you change the trajectory of our participants' lives, but you can also change the lives of their children, family members, and coworkers. Your donation right now can create a ripple effect for generations to come. I mean, talk about a return on your investment. And as you make those donations, I want to share one more story about a young man who came to Concordance. Jose is his name, grew up with a single mom who was a crack addict. He was one of 13 kids. You know, without emotional or financial support from his mom, Jose found safety and belonging with members of his neighborhood gang at the age of 12. That led him to drug dealing by the age of 14, knowing that he needed to help provide for his family. Food, heating in the winter, clothes. Jose was focused on getting money by any means necessary. He was arrested at 19 years old, served an 8.5-year prison sentence for armed robbery. At Concordance, Jose found a group of people who believed in him. A pathway to success that did not involve crime, and a job that provides financial security. As you can see, Concordance is such a valuable resource in our community. They help participants heal from their trauma with mental health and behavioral health treatment. Concordance helps participants find and maintain their sobriety. It helps them find stable employment and create meaningful career paths. Most importantly, Concordance gives participants their first real chance at success. Let's check in on those donors once again. I see Mark Wrighton, thank you. I see Tim Eberline, thank you. I also see Rebecca and Max Cooperman, thank you. Harry Rich, Marilyn Bush, Joe Leahy, David and Karen Kowach, thank you. Thank you all for your support tonight. Oh wait, I'm just getting word right now. We have another $25,000 donor. Julie Vetter, thank you for making your generous pledge. Wow, keep showing that generosity. All of you are making a difference in this moment. With that said, as we wrap up the Fund a Need portion tonight, I want to remind you that the donate and the pledge buttons, those are going to remain open through the weekend. So please join me in supporting the work Concordance is doing by making a financial contribution. Thank you to all of you for your generous support. It is encouraging to see so many people coming together as a community to help move our country forward. And as we conclude the Fund a Need, I want to say thank you to all of our Gala sponsors. Edward Jones, Worldwide Technology, NASCAR, Express Scripts, Ameren, Koala, Susie and Bo Brower, BJC Healthcare, First Horizon Foundation, Janie and Joe Leahy, Jean and Steve Meritz, Mercy, MyTech, the Steinberg Group, Pam and Greg Trapp, U.S. Bank, Barbara and Greg Kraus, Jackie Yoon, Joe Sivrite, Nestle Purina, and Wells Fargo. And now I'd like to send it back to Danny one last time to close our evening.
Wow, thank you to everyone, both longtime supporters and new guests who joined us this evening. And thank you especially for your generosity donating during our Fund a Need. Your investment allows us to provide the support and resources our participants need. Your investment helps change lives, literally, and I'm humbled by your generosity and passion for our mission every single day. Before we end the program tonight, I'd like to share one final thought. Each one of us has the capacity to raise our voices on behalf of those whose voices are not heard often. Justice-involved individuals are often overlooked and not given the resources they need. So I encourage all of you to talk with your friends and family about the mass incarceration crisis, the impact it has on members of our Black and Hispanic communities, and the work that Concordance is doing to end the cycle of reincarceration. Together, we can be their voice, and we can provide an opportunity for them to have their first real chance at success. Together, we can work towards racial equity in our country. I truly believe that we rise and fall as one people, one community, and one nation under God. And it is your continued support, passion, and advocacy that will help us to move forward together. So thank you again for spending your evening with us tonight. God bless.